Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Stock. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Today, I would like to talk to you about some of the stocks that we have that are related to travel and how I think that it correlates with the stimulus and the vaccine news that President-elect Joe Biden will be discussing at, I believe it's 6:15 Central Standard Time, which is 7:15 Eastern Standard Time, and the effect that I think that it's having on the markets. You guys know what time it is. Let's get ready to rock. All right, welcome back. Real quick, I just wanted to share with you guys. My daughter made this for me. I don't know if the light casts on it well or not, but it says Dr. Stock, and she drew all the cool visual effects over here, and she even put "Let's Get Ready to Rock" down at the bottom of it. I thought that it was really cute. Moving on from there, done with the proud dad moment for a little bit. Patreon. We're almost double the numbers from yesterday, just in that short amount of time. I thought it would take a month to get 100 Patreons in there. In under 24 hours time, we're already halfway to that goal. I think in a month's time, we can be up to 1,000 people. The Discord is already starting to light up a little bit. There's signs of life coming to it. People are starting to talk stocks and EVs and penny stocks, growth stocks. My growth portfolio is up there, so if you want to see the stocks that I'm invested in, it's a place that you can go. You can check it out. Just come over to my Patreon. The link is down in the description. Check it out. See if it's something that you're interested in. I think that you'll really like it. All right, if you need a trading platform, down in the description is the link for Webull. You get 2 free stocks for signing up, 2 more free stocks for depositing $100. You help me out. You help this channel out. I get 2 free stocks for you signing up and depositing the $100. Help fund some better equipment. Maybe get me a new background for my office space. That would be wonderful. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, tap the like button, share it with your friends. Let's get on to the stocks. I'd like to start with some news that I think is helping to move these markets. I know that there's some other news that's in the background, but I think that this is also helping. Biden set to talk tonight, 6:15 p.m. Central Time is what I've read. 7:15 Eastern Time, I believe, is what it comes out to be, 7:15 p.m. tonight. So 1.9 trillion for combat virus and downturn. So we get stimulus money in there, and then we also get money to boost the vaccine and the personnel to support getting the vaccine out. Something that we want to pay attention to, it says that Biden promised to get out 100 million COVID vaccine shots in the arms of the American people by his 100th day. I believe that's May 1st. I double check that for me. But May 1st of this year for 100 million shots. But if it's in 2 doses, that's 50 million people. So we want to pay attention to that. I believe that's like a 6th or a 7th of the United States population. So if we're talking about the most at-risk populations, that's a really good thing. Any vaccine news to get rid of to help with the pandemic is a really good thing. This will alleviate some of it. Plus, by May, we're also coming out of the cold and flu season in a big way. So I think that could also help. And then he also talks about the national vaccine program, which is a lot about getting the space and the personnel available in order to make the vaccine go widespread. On to the stocks. Delta Airlines is the first one that I would like to talk about. And they had positive news on their cash burn rate, that it was much slower than what they expected. All right, so here we're looking at the weekly chart for Delta Airlines stock. And I mean, you've seen this probably 1,000 times if you watch a lot of stock videos. There's the pandemic hitting, and it really got devastated. It got brought down here, holy cow, all the way down to $17. And then today you get to see that spike up because of the revenue. So it was already kind of stalling out a little bit, maybe on its way to consolidation. We get some positive financial news, shot right up. I bring it up now because the vaccine news could be really good coming from Biden, and also the stimulus news for the entire market itself. Those 2 things together could help push us up above this area of resistance. So for this to move upward from where it closed at today before we run into resistance, and this is just from the weekly chart that we have here. So that's a 5% gain that we could be looking at before we hit resistance and maybe possibly pull back down. If we get really good news, we might just shoot right up past that resistance into the next area of resistance. All right, so when we look at the daily chart, again, there's the close at 41.47. There's the resistance, and you can see a much better top to this thing, that there's some pretty hard resistance, that the bears came in pretty strongly and pulled this stock price right back down. And then this double bottom that we have here, this is support. It's a floor. It like holds on to the stock price, if you're going to think about it that way. And then we also have this small support area here. And that's a pretty solid top that we have where the bears come in. So depending on the news that we would get, it would take a significant amount to push this upward. But I think that we have potential to move upward that way. On the downside of this, looking towards support, we have about $3 to lose from where it's at. So that's 7.5% down versus 5% up. So breaking that resistance would be important for us. So if we're looking for a buying opportunity for this stock, we really want to play it a little bit closer just to see if there's any other opportunities in there throughout this battle between the bears and the bulls. Intraday, we bottomed out at about $41.21. If we get good news tonight, we have about 45 minutes of Biden's speech if it does come out at 7:15 Eastern time before the after hours close. The next stock is Royal Caribbean, and Royal Caribbean is talked about as being one of the most well-positioned stocks for recovery out of all the cruise line stocks that we have. I believe that good vaccine news and good stimulus news, those two combined, can also pull this stock up more than it already has today. Financially, it's still, I think it says it has a 250 million cash burn as of Q3. For the cruise stocks, it's not going to be a rapid 100% recovery from February 2020 before the pandemic and all the shutdowns, and then the vaccines are out, and then all of a sudden it's back where it's at. It will take time. So you would have to look at this as a growth stock opportunity, not that it would go back up to where it was. Looking at the weekly chart for Royal Caribbean, just so that we can see where it came from before and where it is now. Of course, we're way off the top from where it was at. We have this double top resistance right here at about $85, and it closed today at $75, almost $76. So we have 10% that we can run on this stock before running into that level of resistance. Support-wise, we can go all the way down to $60. So it's 10% either way, up or down to resistance or support respectively. So we want to watch this and see how it plays out. And we want to see how it reacts to Biden's news about the stimulus. If we get good news there, I expect this to start to keep on creeping upwards. And if we get really good vaccine news, especially if it's surprising vaccine news in a positive way, then we could really see much more movement, because that means they can sail sooner. And the sooner they can sail, the sooner they can start making money again and go back to a profitable station. On the daily chart, we get to see a little bit clearer picture of support and resistance. So we closed here. You can see this local resistance that we have. The high point was $76.53. And then over here, we also have an area of resistance at $70.86. Once we get past those two, the $80 mark, even though it doesn't necessarily appear here very clearly, the $80 mark is something that I think once we pass it, that the bulls are going to be reluctant to give up. Until we get there, I think the bears are going to be reluctant to let us get there if we're traders who are long in this position. This double top here, this is, in my opinion, really strong resistance that we have at about the $85 mark. I think it'll take us a while to get there, but I think it will get there, especially as the vaccines roll out, especially as the cruise lines are allowed to start sailing again. We're going to see a lot of upward pressure, and we don't want to wait too long to get into these stocks, because if we wait too long, we're going to miss this trend that we have going on. These have been continually going up with just small periods of it coming downwards. I don't know that it's going to come back down to these levels that we saw before. The last one's Airbnb. This one's new to the stock market. Its IPO came out just a few short weeks ago, and it's been highly popular since. I think it was highly anticipated to hit the market. It's got a really promising business model. For those of you who don't know what it is, this is from Airbnb itself, and it talks about people basically renting out their homes and their properties to travelers. Well, there's not a lot of traveling right now. I think we see some of the value already factored into the stock price, but I think there's going to be a lot more value coming out of it once we're allowed to travel again. So here's the daily chart for Airbnb. There's not a lot that the weekly chart will show you, since it's only been out since the beginning of December. We had the initial drop, as sometimes IPOs are prone to do. Then it was overbought, and then it may have been oversold, and now we reach up to this. I don't know that the Bollinger Bands are going to show us a whole lot because it's so short-lived. This is a 20-period average, at least on the daily chart, Maybe we go down to the hourly, we can see a little bit more. So in the hourly, we can see a little bit more. We can see this area of consolidation through here where the Bollinger Bands are close together. We have that low volatility, and that's usually the sign that a breakout is going to happen, whether up or down, we don't know. We had this wide range green bar here, this candle, and it ripped up above those 2 standard deviations and then back down just a little bit, but then that usually is followed by another wide range green bar, and we weren't disappointed on this one. And you can just see the volatility on this go. When we go up above the Bollinger Band, we're above 2 standard deviations. So all you need to know there at a basic level is that that's a sign that it's over purchased or that's too high of a price, and it typically comes back down towards the mean. And so that's what happens. We approach the mean, it comes back up, more unusual values. You can see we cross up above, comes back down. And if you look at today's highs, once again, we have those highly unusual values back into usual values. And so now we're towards the mean. So speech comes out tonight. Even though this has seen a lot of price action recently, I think that that $1.9 trillion between stimulus and vaccine aid will do a lot for this price, not only because it will raise the entire market with the stimulus, but also because vaccine aid means vaccines out sooner, which means travel out sooner. So as far as buying points from today, we have this area of support around $177. For resistance, $186. So for areas of support today, we have $177-ish. This stock will be one to watch. It might set up a pretty decent buying opportunity for you if you believe in the long-term outlook of this stock and you believe in the fundamentals that underlie this stock. So Delta Airlines, watch for it to move. Good stimulus news, good vaccine news, both of those things will help it out. Same thing for RCL, Royal Caribbean. Watch them. I think that they have good things going for them. I think that they're really going to come out as one of the clearest winners in the cruise line industry. Finally, Airbnb. I believe that some of its stock price is due to the fundamentals of the company, of the outlook of the company long term, but I believe that there's still room for it to run more from where it's at. If not immediately, over the long term, this stock will go higher, especially as the vaccines roll out, as people are able to travel again, and as people find comfort and safety in coming back again. The Patreon, come on over, join the community. You can talk stocks 24/7 whenever you want to stop in. I got my growth portfolio over there. You can take a look, see the stocks that I'm currently invested in, and see if there's anything that might align with what you're already invested in for your own growth portfolio. We're building up a community of people. We're expanding our knowledge base. There's already some activity going on. Over the next week, there's going to be a lot more activity as people start to find their way around and really start talking more about the stocks that they're interested in. I think it's going to turn out really well. I think it's a really great atmosphere, and I think that you would enjoy it. Webull, down in the description, click the link, sign up, deposit your $100, get your 4 free stocks. It really is a great trading platform. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, like it, share it with your friends. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Remember, always do your due diligence and your research. Contact a financial professional before making any financial decisions. I'm Dr. Stock. Thanks for rocking with me. Now go get that money.